My dad demanded $30,000 to cover his loan because he invested in me. I was 21 when I got my first job, and I sent home 3/4 of every paycheck because that was what I had been taught. Be the steady one, the eldest of 3 daughters, the person who kept the lights on while my father chased loans that never stopped growing. He told me he paid for my degree with debt and said that without a son, I was the one who must stand up. I believed him, so I stood up. At 24, I married for love, had a small ceremony, and moved abroad with my husband. Before I left, I told my dad I would support him once I started earning again. I did not name an amount. I meant food, medicine, school, and wedding help when needed, not replacing his job. Still, I kept my word. For 4 years, I sent money like clockwork, the way people pay rent. Transfer, receipt, screenshot, done. I paid my sister's hostel fees, covered doctor visits, and sent $500 to $700 a month, which is a lot where we are from. When COVID hit, the small business I tried to start failed. My income dropped to zero. I cut our own food budget, skipped treats, sold a few things, took odd tasks online, and still sent what I could. When I could not, my husband sent it instead. We never missed a month. Then, one afternoon, my father called and asked for $30,000. Not 300, 30,000. He said it would clear his debts and pay for my sister's wedding. And after that, I would not need to send anything. That month, I was unemployed and tired from interviews that went nowhere. I told him no. He said my husband should take a loan because it was my duty, his word, since I had promised to support him. When the call ended, my hands shook. My husband found me staring at the wall and asked what happened. I told him. He said we would keep the monthly help, but we would not borrow tens of thousands to pour into a hole we could not see the bottom of. We pressed on. But after that, the tone changed. On video calls, my father's face went blank and small jabs began to land. He would say, "Some men are not strong with money," while looking right at my husband. He told relatives I had turned cold after marriage. On a visit home, as we set tea on the table, he muttered, "I invested in the wrong daughter," like I was a failed stock. He knows my husband kept the money flowing when I could not work for almost 3 years because of a medical issue. He knows we never missed a month, not even through job loss or sickness. 2 years ago, after that insult, I cut the amount in half. I did not stop. I could not ignore that they would suffer without it. I set a rule, 300 on the first Monday of every month, and followed it like a law. Even then, he called to say I was ungrateful, that I had forgotten where I came from, that my husband had turned me from my duty. He said again that my life should be used for my sisters because I am the eldest. The hardest part is that after my wedding, he simply stopped working, as if my promise meant I would carry the whole house forever. I never said that. In 10 years, I have sent more than $40,000. The transfers sit in my banking app like a second calendar. Hostel fees in spring, medicine in fall, a wedding deposit in winter. None of it went to comfort. It went to old business debts, and the interest ate each payment like fire eats paper. He knows, and I know, he may never clear it because the balance grows while he argues. Still, he says 30,000, like it is a door I could open if I cared enough. And meanwhile, my sisters watch and learn where the line lives when you are the eldest and you say yes too quickly. I am working again now. On paper, I could send more, but 7 years of pressure carved a mark I cannot ignore. The guilt, the fear, the way my father's words could turn my chest to stone during my lowest days. All of it lives between the numbers. When I think about raising the amount, my stomach flips and I hear that line, wrong daughter, like a door slamming. So I keep the amount where it is. I press send. I check the receipt. I carry the worry that if we stop, people I love will suffer, even though the debt never shrinks. Last week, he called again. He said a lender was pressing him, but if I sent the 30,000 now, we could all breathe. And after that, he would never ask again. He has said that line before. I told him I would not borrow for him, and I would not send a lump sum. I would keep the monthly help. He went quiet, then said I had used my family to get married and leave. I said the truth I wish someone had told me at 21. I can support, but I cannot carry the whole weight. He hung up before I finished the sentence. That night, I opened our budget. The lines were neat: rent, food, savings, and the 300 for home. I looked at the numbers and thought about every time we sent money through job loss and illness, and how even then he let disrespect spill like it cost nothing. I thought about my younger self at a bright office desk, proud after sending my first transfer, and how quickly that pride turned into a chain. I am still sending money. I am still his daughter, but I am done paying for a promise